manager. Socrates, very much the man of the match against Spain, and the scorer of the goal, and also one of the quartet in midfield. There's the manager, Tony Santana, his third spell in charge of the Brazilian side. Just to confuse us all, the Algerians have made several changes. Among them switching goal, Drin taking over from Labi. Balumi, their captain, will start the game. He only came out as a substitute against Northern Ireland. Magier, surprisingly, is fit. He got the hospital with concussion, but he's in the starting lineup. So is Vicaria. Defender, he's taken over from Carucci. There's no place at this side for Rashid Harkouk. The manager, Sadan, hoping they could play a lot better than they did against Northern Ireland.
El árbitro es el señor Rómulo Méndez Molina. Abanderados, José Luis Martínez
from Guatemala
y Joel Guillou.
They say Mendes on there, we'll call him Mendes. Okay, so those are the lineups, London. Everything okay back there? No problems? Okay, fine, thank you. Rajandi, Magier, Quindus. Who's the dead man? Another player.
Alineación de la selección de Brasil. En la portería con el número 1, Carlos Gallo. El número 2, Edson Boaro. Número 4, Emino Nazaret Filo. Número 6, Leovigildo Gama Jr. Número 8, Walter Casagrande. Número 9, Antonio Oliveira Filo. Con el número 14, Julio César Silva. Número 15, Ricardo Brito. Con el número 17, Claudio Leal. Número 18, Sócrates Oliveira. Y con el número 19, Edson Coelho. Director técnico, señor Tele Santana. Copa Mundial de la FIFA. México, 1986.
away here at this huge bowl of a stadium, the Jalisco Stadium in Guadalajara. The familiar beat of the Tiroli Brazilian drums in the background. Algeria in their all-white strip. Brazil, of course, in yellow and blue. Edson. Brazil knowing that a win will surely take them through to the second phase. And Algeria anxious to improve on their disappointing first performance against Northern Ireland. Socrates challenging. Now Edson giving himself some space here. Casagrande and Socrates in the middle. And it's a corner. So a very positive opening here from Brazil. Madrid, the Algerian goalkeeper, is asking his defenders to show a little more composure at the back in these vital early moments. Brazil with the psychological advantage of having won their opening game. Junior will take the corner for them. Elzo. Get away though from Assad. Brazilians with 10 defenders at the moment. Their formations, yes, they will play with 3 up front. Assad, Benad and Majer. This is Mansouri to Baloumi, who only came on as a substitute in the first game. The captain of the Algerian side, although he didn't lead the team out today. An honour falling to Guendouzi. Aguirre, young defender, drafted in place of Karici at the back. Majer finding Baloumi. Majer continued his run through here. Going down in the penalty area, but no suggestion of a foul. I'm surprised to see Majer in the Algerian side. He suffered a nasty gash on the head and concussion after colliding with Maldonaghy during the Northern Ireland game. In fact, was in hospital for 15 hours. Various tests. He was released and he's back in the side today. Alabao, beaten though by Assad. Elzo finding Casagrande, which means literally big house. He's certainly a big man. Rather disappointing in the opening game against Spain. In fact, Casagrande was substituted in the second half. It was felt that the Brazilians might start with Muller, who might have come on for him. Reca is going in. Majer is going to play up front, and did in the first couple of minutes. Was back there to clear away for the corner. So Brazil's second corner. First 3 minutes of the match. Junior has gone across to take it. Socrates, Casagrande will provide the height for Brazil. Junior provide the accuracy from the corner. And that will give him confidence. Drid having left out for the first game, but he's been preferred today to Labi. Goalkeeper renowned for his eccentric moments, I'm told. Through to Brazil. Careca, a fine match against Spain. Junior to Alabao. The 4 midfield players. Socrates. It's Edson. Alabao slipping it through. Again away from the corner. Socrates burst into the area. Already really hurt from the challenge, but he's looking very dangerous in the first few minutes. Very much the man of the match against Spain. It was his goal that earned Brazil the 2 points. Socrates has stayed down. The referee has got away from him. Nobody's watched to, and is... So if it's the shoulder, indeed he's now calling on the two trainers with the stretcher. Players have to be stretchered off the field here. It isn't that serious. Perhaps it is. Socrates, no sign yet of getting to his feet. So got a minor injury, or appears to run for Edson, who's been massaging his right leg down below us. Not on the screen at the moment. So Brazilians with 1 or 2 worries here. Socrates being carried off. Just how serious this is. It will certainly be a blow for Brazil if they lose potentially their most influential player. Assad. Belumi. Very experienced international player, Belumi. They've given it away. It's Belumi now to Mansouri. Ben Mabrouk. Played in the opening game against Northern Ireland. It's Benad. Kassi Said. Jared to open up some space for him through the middle. Here's Majer now. But many players in the Algerian side who play their club football abroad. Used to get the change here. Ben Mabrouk. Is Assad outside him. Now, a chance perhaps. It was Edson who blocked his shot. This is more encouraging for the Algerians. They survive the early scares. Assad. Useful pass back to him there. Now Assad. Oh, to the side netting. The first genuine chance of the game. Edson stays down on the ground. Socrates is waiting to come back on, but Edson, we mentioned a moment or two ago, got problems with his right leg. He's now gone down in some pain. He was certainly caught for pace then. The combination that set up Assad. His shot perhaps rather disappointing into the side netting. Might have made better use of that. Well, Edson is off the field having treatment, so Brazilians at the moment playing with 10 men. Socrates back in the action. And here's Junior. Alamao. And you have movement and mobility for the Brazilians here. This is Branco, who makes a lot of probing runs down that left flank for Brazil. Careca. Changing positions. They've got some defending to do now. Assad. Here's Minad. In for Assad. Just beyond it there. Socrates. Always looks so elegant and graceful. This is Careca. And then for Elzo. Junior. Branco. Branco. He's won the throw. That's rather unusual for a World Cup game so far in these finals. 10 minutes of play and not a foul yet. Let's hope it stays that way. Brazilians were unhappy at what they called the violence of Northern Ireland play, which I think is rather stretching it a little bit. So they had nothing to fear from either Northern Ireland or Algeria. Again here. tackle. Brazilian throw. And in fact, Edson has made a return to the field for Brazil, and Falcao is coming on. Only 10 minutes gone. The Brazilians have had to make a substitution. Alabao has gone to right back. Falcao, who looks very much like him, is slotted into midfield. Another of the stars from 82, Falcao. Adinho. Careca. Good skill. He's got a very powerful shot, Careca. So some reorganising for the Brazilians, but Falcao has already had a taste of the World Cup action here in the finals, having come on as a substitute in the first game. And that's happened again, but rather earlier. That's this match here against Algeria. Guendouzi. This is Mansouri. Saeed couldn't control it. Poor pass to him anyway. Now Socrates. Lifting pass by challenge, but he brought down. First foul of the game. He's given Brazil a free kick. What they will see as potentially a goal-scoring position. The star man, of course, from the set pieces from Brazil's point of view is Zico, but he's still unfit and hasn't even made the substitutes today. Referee insisting that the wall is 10 yards back, and Madrid making sure that it's well organised in front of him. Remember, the Northern Ireland goal, of course, came from a free kick in the opening match. A shot from Whiteside that rebounded off the wall. This is Junior. Just got there before Casagrande, and then Careca couldn't turn it in. Madrid is unhappy at the wall in front of him. He couldn't hold the shot. Such was the power of the drive then from Junior. He just managed to palm it away from Casagrande, and then Careca passed the post. So a near thing then. The Algerians survive. Madrid shaking his head. Felt that the wall in front of him didn't really do its job, but these Brazilians can curl the ball and it twists in the air. Junior struck it superbly. I was watching them in training, Junior and Zico, and the way they bend the ball around the wall is quite astonishing. Majer. Apparently showing no ill effects from his period in hospital after the clash with Donaghy. Casagrande couldn't shake off Cassie Saeed. One of the players in the Algerian side to have emerged with some credit from that opening match against Northern Ireland, Cassie Saeed. Here's Assad, who started in very lively fashion. Socrates. Junior made the burst down the left. He's got space here. Casagrande's in the middle. So is Careca. Madrid able to make a comfortable save. Majer. This is Mansouri. And then for Assad. The heroes of 82. It's a pretty experienced side indeed in terms of international football. Algeria. Assad. Junior. Branco. Casagrande finding Careca. Now Branco has gone outside him. This is promising. Branco with the cross in, away from Laguerre. Majer able to find Assad. So far, the lack of quality on the crosses hasn't produced a genuine chance for the Brazilians. Best opportunity so far falling to Assad of Algeria. Belumi. For a long time with serious injury. Belumi in the side today, and this is Major with a cross. Juan Carlos. Way over on the far side for a throw to Brazil. Socrates. Set Casagrande away. Assad. Working wide on the left for Algeria. The wayward pass from him. Socrates. Long then for Junior. Bulgaria. It's Kassi Said. Jadi. He found them before he said no, play on. Brazilians can build again with Alomao. Switch to right back now that Edson is off the field. Elzo. Falcao to Socrates. Now Junior. Socrates had made the run there completely unmarked. Picked him up at all. The Algerians at the back seem to be ball watching somewhat. Not enough defenders back. Nobody seems to know who should be picking who up. Having seen how Socrates threatened against Spain, Uniform made to be particularly cautious about the runs that Socrates is making from midfield. Mansouri. This is Assad. He's looking to take defenders on. Two of them here. Had the ball gone out of play. The linesman said no. Assad. Julio Zadar in the way for Brazil. This is Elzo. Now then for Junior. Found Mansouri instead. And here's Assad. Junior. Elzo to Branco. Alomao. Now then for Falcao. Junior. Elegantly through to Alomao. The cross headed away by Mansouri. Only as far as Alomao again. Junior. Somewhat bizarre fashion. Referee from Guatemala. Mendes. Too pleased with the antics there of Ben Mabrook. He's writhing around in agony throughout the Northern Ireland game. Just appeared to be. Junior with the cross in towards Casagrande. He's very strong in the air. Falcao. Casagrande almost got the touch. A shot from Falcao just beyond the far post. Falcao not really getting hold of it. It's deflected anyway. It seemed that way, but no corner was given. I didn't feel that Casagrande had reached it. Guendouzi. Cow's tackle sent up Casagrande, now Careca. But Cow's gone outside him here. Though by Mansouri. Sound piece of defensive play. Kassi Said. Who's the player who impressed Billy Bingham, the Irish manager. Some of the warm-up matches that he'd seen before the finals. Menad, leading scorer for qualifying games for Algeria. Crossed safely in the arms of Carlos. And here again with a lot of space is Socrates. Has he taken it too far? Ben Mabrouk to Kassi Said. Belumi. Mijadi. Belumi. This is Majer. He has a lot of skill. As he showed in the Portuguese league for Porto. There's his shot. Won't be too pleased with that one. Stumped his toe there. Didn't get hold of the shot properly. Junior. Branco. Elzo. Junior. This is Careca. They've fed the pass through to Socrates. And then for Junior. No fouls as a referee. Taken by Ben Mabrouk as Junior went down. Here come the Algerians with Assad. Picked out Majer superbly. Menad going through the middle. Easy though for Adinho. Now Socrates. Grande, Falcao. Precise build-up by the Brazilians. Can they find a way through this Algerian defence? Adinho.
Atención, mucha atención aficionados que se
Grande.
encuentran en la zona alta de
Make his head a
estadio
positive one.
México. Se les ruega de la manera más atenta levantar sus banderolas o pizarras, ya que están obstaculizando la vista a los señores de palcos. A las personas de palcos se les está obstaculizando la vista. Por favor de levantar o de recoger las banderolas que están colgando
Adinho
de la
with
zona
the header.
alta de este
Menad in
estadio
quickly.
Jalisco.
Majer.
Gracias.
He has support now then from Ben Mabrouk. Here's Assad. No, Alameo in first. Now can the Brazilians spring quickly into attack here? Alameo. This is Casagrande. Alameo again. Careca in the middle. Casagrande in there too. And Socrates. An easy clearance for Kassi Said. Majer. Finding Menad. They're casually given away. Also was hit quickly with the tackle. There's Menad again. The interception this time by Adinho. Now then for Socrates. Careca has pulled away to his left here. Still Careca. Very strong, very powerful. Socrates, a shot charge down. And the Brazilian throw. Seems to be available. This is Julio Cesar, the two central defenders. Also, Falcao. Short handle back by Bulgaria. And ticking off the referee. Brazil. Free kick here. Now will Junior try one perhaps, or Socrates? Julio Cesar in the first game against Spain, who came closest to a goal with a thunderous shot. He might try one. Julio Cesar in there, indeed is there. The referee just trying to sort out the defensive wall. If any player breaks off it, you can expect a caution. There's once or twice in the finals so far. There's danger here for Algeria, and Alameo from Socrates' pass straight into the arms of Drip. The variation there on the free kick from Brazil. Socrates was in quickly. It's Bellumi. And then for Majer. Majer spreading the play well, picking up Assad. Finding Bellumi. This is Majer. Now can he get away from those Brazilian defenders? Still Majer. Did well to turn, got his cross in. Too long there for Assad. And away come Brazil. To Junior. Casagrande. Casagrande again. Careca. Lovely flick off then towards Casagrande. Failed to produce the opening. Algeria can build themselves now with Bellumi. This is Bernard. Now Majer. Well read though by Elzo. Provides the legs really in midfield. Complement the more supple skills around him of Junior and Socrates. Here's Junior now. Careca, could be a chance. And we're watching Careca in training, striking a ball from that kind of distance with awesome venom. One over the bar. He was a leading goal scorer in Brazil last season, the Brazilian Player of the Year. Casagrande, looking as if they were going to form a useful combination up front. Casagrande, not so promising against Spain. Junior. Play for an Algerian throw. Algerian manager Zidane too happy with their showing against Northern Ireland. Feels they play a lot better than that. Realises it was going to be a real test today against Brazil. Very much the favourites to win this group and qualify for the next phase. Ben Mabrouk. This is Mansouri. Now Menad. Assad. Windows. Possession, all out of play. That is Saeed. Waiting to keep it in. Good possession from both sides. Not quite many openings produced. Falcao. Junior. Socrates. With Julio Cesar. Socrates. Falcao finding Junior. Brazilians trying to string some passes together, force an opening. They have forced a corner of Agalia. Patient, methodical build-up by the Brazilians. Junior will take the corner for them. Dinho is coming forward. Central defender who, what he claimed was a goal disallowed in the opening game, but he clearly punched it in. Junior with the cross. Saved from Careca. He's had the best of Brazil's chances thus far. There's the flick from Careca, Madrid right underneath it. Elzo, looking for Falcao. Franco, Alameo. Support here then from Careca, got time to turn. Casagrande, now then for Junior. Playing it towards Casagrande. Algérie back defending for Algeria. As they do on a couple of occasions in this first half. Algérie is down in trouble again. Quite horrific collision with Aldonaghy in the game against Northern Ireland. Players needing treatment with their further part in the game. Apparently had quite severe concussion. Falcao. This is Careca. Now for Alamao. Algerians again with all 10 outfield players back defending here. Branco. There's Careca in there and Casagrande. Neither could make the decisive touch. Casagrande with the header. His header only as far as Falcao. Here's Careca. Casagrande's gone into the middle. Here's his header. Oh, well kept up by Drit. Socrates, and it's gone in. No, it won't count. Have a look at it again. There's the header from Casagrande, kept out by Drit. The referee has disallowed it. Socrates with the shot. Well, it's certainly a talking point. I must confess I'm not quite sure why that's disallowed. Good. Obviously well to keep out the header from Casagrande. Put his arms on it there. Perhaps a foul given on the goalkeeper. Well, whatever the reason, the goal won't stand. And Brazil are denied again. They have their goalkeeper to thank there, Drin. A spectacular save. One of the finest of the final so far. Memories perhaps revived with that great save by Gordon Banks from Pele. This very stadium, I think at the other end, but at this same stadium back in 1970. Astonishing save that has gone down as one of the greatest of all time. It was a fair old stop then by Drin. It certainly kept Algeria at this game. It stays at 0-0. Algeria have a free kick with a handling offence by Falcao. Batsuri Assad. The Brazilians clearly see Assad as the man to contain. They've curbed his threat down the left flank after one or two early flourishes from Assad. Brazilians clearly trying to deny him space now down the Algerian left. Junior. Again, the sound of the drums beating around the stadium. Some 40,000 plus Brazilians here. Mexicans are pro-Brazilian too. Algeria, we're told, have 40 supporters here. Belumi. No doubt the Algerian crowd changes were given to the players beforehand. Alabao. Junior. Casagrande. Careca control it. Send it through to Drid. Stands at this moment as the hero of Algeria. Assad. Enad. Finding Beloubi. This is promising. Beloubi shot blazing wide. Certainly had his problems with injuries, a broken leg, a broken ankle. He really only just made this trip to finals here in Mexico. He didn't have sufficient match fitness to play in the opening game. The Algerians have thrust him into this one. Vital man in midfield for them. And of course, it's Socrates here for Brazil. Junior. Branco with oceans of space away on his left. Junior goes for the other option. It was Careca. Algeria throw. Minutes of the first half remaining, still 0-0. That thanks in no small way to the goalkeeping of grid of Algeria. They're coming forward themselves here with Benes. Beloubi. Carlos safely positioned. He hasn't had too much to do in this first half, which has been mainly dominated by the Brazilians, as you'd expect. They haven't found a goal yet. The target. Alameo was there first. Now then Adinho. Socrates. Casagrande. Handled. Guendouzi. Free kick taken too quickly. We'll take that again. Some distance from the goal, but I wonder if somebody might try a long one from here. Adinho is there. They seem to have specialists for all types of free kicks. Julio Cesar. He's going to try one. An astonishing shot from Julio Cesar. Similar to the one that he fired in the opening game against Spain and very nearly scored. Must have been all of 35 yards out. He came back off the bars. Branco goes down. And Dritt couldn't reach it. Came back off the bar. A stunning pace. And Julio Cesar very nearly gave Brazil the lead. It's been a miraculous save. You can do nothing about that shot from Julio Cesar. Junior with the free kick. Aiming for Casagrande. Reaching him all the way. He's held on tight. The English-based player on the side was saying, well, don't ask me about the goalkeepers, he said. In fact, Drew is suggesting that his doubts about them are well-founded today. We'll see as the game progresses. Careca. Cassie Said. The drums are beating louder. Brazil still haven't found this first goal. Mager. Understanding with Menad. Away come Brazil again with Alameo. Falcao. Again Branco with a lot of space down the left. Which I think sent out the Algerian coach will be concerned about this in his half-time chat to the players. So much room for Branco down the left. Elzo to Junior. First time ball played in for Careca. Galia got it away. Menad finding Assad. Algerians hoping to catch Brazil on the counter-attack. Beloubi, Assad taking over. Full of running. Mager. He kept it in. Oh, says the linesman. Falcao. Less than 5 minutes to half-time. Still 0-0 here in the Jalisco Stadium in Guadalajara. Another scorching hot day, temperatures I think 90 plus. And we're well sheltered in this magnificent grandstand here under the shade. It's only when you go outside that you really feel the heat of Guadalajara. Junior. I can tell you it's very hot down there on the pitch. Careca. Casagrande. Released by Mansuri. And a Brazil corner. Junior, Shaw will take. Sending Adinho forward. Watch too for the height and power in the air of Casagrande. He's just around the penalty spot. A rather aimless corner kick from Junior of all people. And Suri. That's that. Scored Falcao behind him. The Brazilians regaining possession. Junior to Careca. He's looked full of menace up front, but not on that occasion. Here's Ben Mabrouk. Kathy Said. Directing operations from midfield. Jadi to Majer. And chasing, but Branco able to clear. Socrates now then for Brazil. 3 minutes of the first half remaining. Falcao. Socrates. Able to collect. He couldn't deliver the pass. Match on the table at times. But Madrid will certainly remember that astonishing save. Majer coming from deep, finding Benad. This is Majadi. Ben Mabrouk, good turn. Support from Assad. In patrolling the left flank for Algeria. Benad in the middle. Comfortably away though, finding Socrates. Junior, carelessly given away by Junior. Jadi. It's a timid shot. Junior. Maybe some careless play in the midfield. The crowd beginning to whistle their discontent. And happy enough with Brazil win. They were celebrating in the streets of Guadalajara here, as well as in Rio. When things aren't going so well, not slow to show their disapproval. Careca, good turn. Casagrande pulled away to the far post. Cross, far too long then from Careca. Casagrande had to chase. Branco's cross in, too long for Socrates. And the quality of the crosses remains something to be desired. The altitude, but whatever. Certainly won't be too happy with some of the crosses that have been supplied from both flanks. Assad. Interchange was useful with Medad. Assad felt it was held back then, but the referee saw nothing wrong. And in the last minute of the half, can Brazil mount one last challenge here? Careca. Junior going in, so too was Mansuri. Or Elzo's header, I think Julio Cesar. Thought for a moment he might have left Benad in then. Alabao. Again, there's room down the flank for Branco. He's gone on to his right side. Much a left-footed player, Branco. Alabao. Challenge was from Ben Mabrouk. Falcao in space. Junior. Careca. Guendouzi for the corner. Junior will take. Allen to time added on for stoppages. Junior with the corner. Grid lost it. No foul given.